It's a jaguar! We knew that there are many, many dangers in the Amazon rainforest, but we never even thought we'd see a jaguar, let alone be attacked by one. This is the story of the first full descent of a remote river in Suriname. As we boarded the helicopter, it became clear that our risk versus reward ratio was strongly against us. Flying out of Paramaribo, the landscape quickly changed to forest and then to untouched jungle, which is filled with hidden dangers. Despite being the dry season, the rivers were running high and it was very difficult to find a place to land. The river we'd selected, called the Tanjiemama Creek, was so small that if you blink, you'll miss it. It took a while to find a suitable landing spot, and it was dangerous at best. The Surinamese military pilot, barely 30 years old, actually did an excellent job and got us down without hitting a tree, though it was close. We deboarded in the furing winds of the helicopter and watched it take off. As it flew away, it sunk in. We were completely, utterly, helplessly, beautifully alone. This is the story of the first full descent of Tanjiemama Creek in the jungles of Suriname, South America. We'd found the Tanjiemama Creek on Google Satellite View and knew we had to paddle it. It had been descended once before, maybe the year 2015 or so, but not in its entirety. We don't know where they started from, but it wasn't as high as where we got dropped off. We would spend about 10 days camping and surviving in the jungle on our own. Super hot. It's mid-afternoon. There may be a storm building, but it's eerily quiet. Something crashed in the distance. An iguana dropped from the tree and landed in the water and swam under my kayak. We never know what's around the next bend. Jaguar!
I'm alone, I'm more vulnerable.
It's a jaguar! We were being stalked by a jaguar.
So it's about an hour after the jaguar encounter. He was ready to pounce on me. He stopped at the last second. We managed to scare him off, partially with Dave splashing. He ran up the tree and was kind of over Dave. We didn't know if he was hiding or if he was gonna pounce on Dave, but we paddled like mad. Probably covered a mile and a half in half an hour, did a portage. And now it's really dark, so we had to camp. So we survived the jaguar encounter. First time, probably the last time any of us will ever see a jaguar. Super scary. The thing was not scared. And now we're hoping to get a good night's sleep and hopefully not see him again. It's our third day on the river. It's the morning. We're just starting off. We're hoping to cover some ground today. Ideally 12 miles, maybe 15. We probably do have a set of rapids to portage, but the river should get a lot bigger when it joins with these two side creeks. Yesterday we worked hard all day and only got like 8.3 miles.
Hardly a minute would pass without us finding some new obstacle or surprise, such as monkeys.
We don't see him, but we hear him. These are the howler monkeys. Clouds have been building for a few hours. It's getting dark, and now a cooling breeze just hit. Rainfall is imminent.
When it rains in the Amazon, it can really rain, and we saw our fair share of torrential downpours on this trip.
Just when you think it couldn't rain any harder, it does.
Although we were never cold, we were constantly wet, including setting up our camp at night and crawling into our tent.
So it's nighttime now, we're getting ready for bed. Before we go to bed, it's super important that we do our dermatological checks. That we are making sure that we don't have any insects embedded in us. Here's the mite removal. So I probably just took several dozen mites off of my groin area, and many others off the rest of my body. I bet there was over 100 on me. Gonna get some rest and then check again in the morning and see if any new ones showed up. We're in a flat spot. It's super hot. We're gonna try to catch some fish here. We got a line rigged up to the backpack going out behind us. And we'll see if anything takes the bait.
The pristine upper reaches of the Tanjiemama Creek are absolutely filled with fish, teeming with fish. We carried fishing rods with us and fished daily on the river, from the beach, at nights, during the day.
So what happens is when you catch something, the piranha bite their tails.
Despite assurances from locals that we would catch huge exotic fish, the only thing we ever got was piranhas. We tried different baits, live, plastic, and the only thing we ever got was piranhas, teeth and all.
We're catching piranhas here at our lunch break, and Suhei just caught like our first fish ever, and it's this huge, medium-sized, aggressive piranha with red eyes.
I got one, it's medium size. And I'm so scared that it's gonna bite me.
No joke.
We even started using piranha meat as bait, but that only gave us more piranhas.
So scary.
Whoa!
Many parts of the river are flat, although it flows, but there are rapids throughout the river, and every day there are rapids to run and rapids to portage. Rapids are just one of many factors that make this an advanced wilderness expedition, as a popped boat or lost gear could be disastrous.
This is our first real portage. We suddenly came upon like a 50, 80 foot class 5 plus, class 6 waterfall. Now we're beginning to carry all our gear through the jungle. Portage is short, probably less than 100 meters. It's really hot, heavy, and steep. We'll be okay.
We carried a satellite phone in case of emergencies, but truth be told, there was no landing sites for a helicopter the first 5 days at all. We were all alone in the Surinamese jungle.
This is like the 10th Caiman sighting of the morning. He's watching us, but he won't get close. You can see him right in here. There's his head just swimming upstream.
The Amazon rainforest is one of the most biodiverse places on Earth, and we saw our fair share of incredible creatures. Though nothing attacked us, we were well aware of the many venomous creatures in the jungle.
Right now they're like 20?
Yeah, wow.
One of the most painful insects in the world is the bullet ant. Don't get bit.
I'll put my hand close so you can get size.
That's the one.
They bite, yeah? Very bad.
Oh man, his jaws are huge. How much you give me if I let him bite me?
Wow.
I'm done.
Hardly an hour would pass without a monkey sighting or hearing monkeys. They were our favorite.
You gotta keep us up all night, aren't you, you little fucker?
Near the stove, we noticed a huge amalgamation of giant ants with pincers. We think they're leafcutter ants. Check this out. It's thousands of them that were drawn in apparently by the mashed potatoes.
So these are the army ones. See those giant ones? Those stand on either side of the crew. See, like this one, and he comes after you if you get too close.
Every campsite has its own set of insects. We've been out here for a week. Starting about 4 days ago, Dave and I noticed that there's like glass shards feelings in like our back, like in the skin, as if something's embedding itself. There's nothing to see, but today it's like pretty brutal. It hurts all the way down my arm, all the way going around my back, and it's spreading to my legs, and down into my groin. And we're pretty confident that we have some sort of jungle fungus growing in our skin. So Right now we are at the confluence of the Tanjiemama and the Coppename rivers.
Tanjiemama joins with the Coppename River. It picks up in speed and volume, and there are many fun rapids to run and some big rapids that must be portage. The big one is called the Modervallen.
Here we are, the Coppename, the major Coppename rapids.
Around it is a half-day, complicated, mazy portage. And then suddenly, victory.
We've made it back to civilization. We survived the jungle, and it was awesome.
If you're willing to take on the risk, the Surinamese jungle is one of the most awe-inspiring and incredible places you could ever visit. Over the dozens of expeditions the four of us have experienced in our life, this is easily one of the best.